If you want to go, Nate, I think we're just to talk so your face shows up. If you want to go, Nate, it's about 10 seconds behind, and looks like there's 4 people on.
Hey there, everyone. I'm Nate. Give us just another minute to get going, and we'll get going on this app training. All right, well, we're going to get this going, and we might start a little slower to let those that are joining us in a minute get on. While we're doing that, I'll just do a little bit of housekeeping. My name is Nate Cox with Verb. I've been with the company for a long time and been helping Seint with this mobile app. And so we're going to go through and show you some cool features today. I think you're going to be really excited about it. And if you have questions, please know that you can put your questions in the comment section. And Kyle on our team is monitoring those, and he'll answer some of your questions right in the comment section. Others he will maybe even just bring up on the call. He'll jump in as the organizer of this, and he'll either answer them or have me answer them for you. So I'm going to get going today. I'm going to share my screen, and just know that there is a little bit of a delay. So when I share, just because of how we're streaming this, there may be a little bit of a delay. So if I'm talking about something, but you can't see it, don't worry about it. Just wait a second and you will probably see it. So right now I'm just clicking through some stuff so you can maybe kind of see some screens moving. Just know that we timed it and it's about a 10-second delay. So I've got the app open now, and I wanted you to just see this is the app as it exists. So everything I'm going to show you right now is live, meaning you can use it now as a user, and should be some familiar stuff to you if you've been using the app. I'm going to show you some things that maybe you aren't familiar with. And if you're new to the app, we'll just give you a quick overview of the app just so you can kind of get a feel for it. So looking here on the main screen, you can see down at the bottom, there are several categories for this app. From a 30,000 foot view, this app is something that's just amazing for sharing information as an artist about Seint. You can share promotions, images, videos, and that sort of thing. So you have all of the marketing tools that you need on hand, ready to share. So that's one of the great features. And more than just having them, they're in a very easy to find way so that you can find anything you're looking for really quickly, share it really quickly, and then there's some intelligence behind it. When someone clicks on those links, you're going to get a notification. It's going to come to your activity feed, and then you can do some follow-up there. And there's fortune in your business is always in the follow-up. So the more you follow up, and we're going to show you some great tips on that today. So that's kind of the main focus of this. Another kind of focus is this learn area, where as new artists onboard, this will be a great way for them to get up to speed on the products, the education, the business opportunity, and really get onboarded correctly. So all your new people, get them to go through the learn area and get up to speed on that. So I'm going to share now. I'm going to just show you several different ways that you can share on the app. One of the most common ways, we had a meeting with corporate today, and one of the most common ways artists are using the app right now is just texting a video to someone. So I'm going to just show you that. If you're not doing that, that's something that you can do. And it doesn't have to be a video. It could be an image. It could be some of these other resources, before and afters. You just have so many things that you can do. So let me just pick like this artist training video. Oh, this is a non-shareable. This one's a training one. In fact, that's a great topic. As you'll know, as you look through these assets that are here, some of them, and corporate determines which ones, some of them will not be shareable. They're intended for you as an artist to have as a resource. So if you see it and it's grayed out, that means it's not a shareable item. If you're looking in here and you find something that shows that it's shareable, then it will be shareable. So I'm just going to pick one just so that we can keep moving on. So say like under product resources, there's this contour face shape oval. If I click on that, it's going to pull up on the app, and you'll see that here as it's lagging a little bit. You're going to see a couple interesting things. One is for every item here, every asset that is shared, it's tagged. So you can find, when you're searching, for example, on the app for something specific, the search is looking at a few different things. One is these tags, if it's been tagged by corporate. The other is if it's in the title or if it's in the description. So if the name that you're looking for, like, oval, you type in oval in the search field, because you typed oval and it's in the description or the title, it's going to find that. So I just wanted to let you know that's how the search function works. And I'll show you that here in a second. But now that I'm on here, you'll also see that there's a share sheet down here at the bottom. That's all the different ways you can share. There's emailing, texting, there's social media sharing, there's copying a link to use in another app. So if you wanted to share this image somewhere else, you could do that. Or there's a download. And this is one that I think you guys might not be familiar with. So I'm going to show you that in a second as well. But right now I'm just going to text it so you can see that. So I'm going to click the SMS button, which is just another word for texting. And you'll see that it will open up my contact manager. And when I've synced all my contacts, they're just there. Anything that's on my phone will show. And then I can put in the search field who I want to send this image to. In this case, I'm going to send it to myself. So I'm going to find my name. I'm going to type the name, find my name, send it, and it will pull that up, and it will pull in the description that goes with that message. This is one that has been pre-scripted by corporate, so you don't have to think of what to say or what to do. And then you'll also notice in that link that it's tied to me as an individual. So it'll say nate.seintapp.com. So it knows who is sending this. And this is really important. And I'm going to show you this in a minute, why that's important, because everything that is being sent, one, is being tracked. And two, the join links and the buy links are tied to you as an individual. So if you share this on somewhere and someone clicks on it and eventually buys product or joins the company, you are going to get credit for it. So anyway, I'm going to hit send on this. And by the way, that message that was in there is editable. So if you don't like what corporate's put in there as a message, you can go click on that and it will, you can edit it and change it. So now I'm going to my text messages, and you'll see that it brings up a thumbnail image of that thing that I decided to share, and a description. That's the description that I decided to send. So if I click on that as a user, this is the end user, what like your customer or your prospect is going to see. I wanted you to notice a few things. When I click on that, several things happen. The first thing you're going to see is that there is a immediate notification coming up that says, hey, Nate just clicked on this. So you as an artist will know who's clicking on your the videos that you've sent or the image that you posted. You'll know who that was. That's going to populate into your feed, which I'll show you in a minute. The other thing is, notice here on the top of the URL, it says sc-nate.saintapp.com. This is basically, instead of sending them an image like a JPEG or sending them to YouTube where they're going to see the video or whatever, it sends them to this kind of, we call it a player page, an intermediate page that's tied to you. So you see this little badge image up here? This is my little kind of mini page. So if someone wants to contact me, it's going to be tied to me. I'm going to get information sent to me. They can call me or email me. If they want to join or order and they click on that, guess where it's getting attribution from? Me. So if they order, I'm getting credit for it. If they join, I'm getting credit for it. Also, you'll notice that those same links are down at the bottom. So this is something new that I don't think you guys are familiar with, but you're getting these player pages. When a prospect or customer clicks on this, you're going to get credit because this is going to take them to your personal website to order product or to your personal website to enroll. So that's super powerful. Now, you saw me click on this. So say I click on the image or I click info. Say I click info and I want to request more information. They'll put in their information and hit request information. And it will say, great, this has been this information has been requested. So now when I go back to the app, if you go to the bottom right corner, there's a little more section that says feed. If you click into the feed area, that's going to give you all of the kind of the information that happened on your actions, people that have clicked on a link that you sent them, other things like that. It will just show up into your activity feed. So not only will you get that push notification that you saw come through, but maybe you missed that on your phone for whatever reason, it's still going to show up here in your feed. So you can see that Nate sent out this contour face video or image at 8:07 p.m. You can see he sent one at 7:52 on the Versailles product. So you can see in real time who's clicking on links, if they requested more information, and then you can drill down into that, like this is the person that requested more information. From here, I can share additional tools to him. I can add him to an automated drip campaign. I can check his personal feed and see what else he's clicked on that I've sent to him. So now you're armed with information that will help you in that follow-up. Like I said earlier, this is where that fortune is. And then from here, you can set reminders like, hey, I'm going to follow up on that. And you just drag to set a reminder there. So really powerful tool. Again, that's in that feed section of the app. I'm going to go back and show you a couple more ways to share that you may not be familiar with. So I'm going to pick, I guess I could have used that same one, but say I've got a monthly promotion that I want to share, this Versailles image. So I click on that, and then you'll see the same kind of options down here, SMS, social, and download. I'm going to show you how to share socially now, just for those that are not familiar with this. If you share socially and I click on there, it's going to give me the example message that comes from that promo, which is pre-scripted. You don't have to think of anything to do. And I'm going to just delete out the pricing. Maybe I'm going to talk to the person, or I want to not scare them away, or whatever the reason is. And then I can go in, I can add my own, things that I love, emoticons, or I love this product or whatever, because we want to defeat the algorithms that would bury this social post. If you just did an automated post or use pre-scripted language, it will give you an error. It says, hey, sorry, we need you to make this a little bit more unique so that people will actually see it when you're sharing it. So in this case, I've done that. I copy it, and now it brings up the social media that I have available on my phone. So there is, you'll see at the bottom of the screen, all sorts of things like Instagram or Facebook or Drive. And the bottom right corner, there's one that says more. Because this is a native app, any social that you have on your phone will be there. So you can share this link or this image or this video, whatever it is that you're sharing, at any time from anything that's on your phone. I'm going to share Facebook just so you can see how that works, where I can go in, I can choose my feed or my story, and then I paste that description that I had put in there. That way I can now post it. And with just in a few touches, I've not only identified an asset from corporate that I wanted to share, I've personalized it, shared it in a unique setting that now allows me to have that promotion out there for the world. Now, you can also, if there's a link associated with these assets, and a lot of them will have links, guess where the links would go? For example, to your personal website that would allow someone to buy a product or do a promo. You'll just come down to this copy link function, and it will copy the associated link for that promotion, or for your personal website rather, to your clipboard. And now you can go back into the comments section of Facebook and say, hey, click here for the promo, and paste that, and it will have the link that goes to your personal website right there. So that's a perfect way to share socially. Here's another way to share socially. So say I want to share another thing. I could come here, say this is a video from corporate on how to use one of the makeup products. I want to post that in my Instagram story. I can come here and pick download in this bottom right-hand corner of the app. And it will allow me, as I pull this open, you'll see I can save it to my app, which is what we used to have, saved to my photos or saved to my file. So if you save this right to your photo library, now when you go to Instagram, you have that promotion or that video or that image or whatever it is that you want to use on your device. So now you can go and just, when it's, says select from my library, you just select from the library that has that right there. And then the video that you selected or image or whatever will play right there, because it's not a link anymore from the app. Now it's an actual video that you've downloaded and have on your phone. So that way you can use some of these great things to great effect on social media as you're growing your business, as you're trying to influence other artists out there. So I just wanted you to make sure that you knew that that also was an available tool, because I think that's just a powerful way to grow your business. You guys have so many great assets here, great products. When we were reviewing it today, we saw that the amount of assets, we call them these things, the videos, the images, etc. You're using them all. It's not just like there's one that everyone uses. You're finding great assets and then sharing them all over and sharing them equally. So that's a really powerful way to do it. Someone asked a question, will you be able to send multiple contacts at one time and not as like a group text? So there's a couple of things you can do. So the app is basically designed to be a one-to-one share. So the reason is just some of that stuff I was showing you, right? Where if someone that you send it to specifically clicks on it, it's going to show up in your activity feed, and it's going to say, Nate clicked on this video at this time, so that you can follow up intelligently with that person. If you're not as interested in that and you're just trying to get the message out there and you don't really care to see if Nate clicked on it or Kyle or Jenny clicked on it or whatever, you can do a couple things. One is you could come in here to whatever it is, say it's the image thing, and you could just copy the link that's associated, in this case, with the before and after. I can just copy that link. Now I have that link on my clipboard. And now I can share that link in social media, or I could, if I had a group text going, I could paste it in the group text. And that way I'm getting the image out there or the video or whatever, but I'm not necessarily going to get the correct notification that so-and-so watched it, because I'm just blasting it out there. So that copy link is one way to do that. On our desktop version, you can actually log in there on the desktop side. That we talked about that's going to be one of our next trainings. So just stay tuned for that. But what you can do is you can log in there. And then when you go to the email section there, you can actually select multiple individuals that will get that one-to-one email. So you might send it to 10 or 15 people, but you can click them all at one time. Like, hey, I'm going to send this to Kyle, Dave, Nate, Mary, Jane, whatever. And you can just select them all and then hit send, and it will send an individual link to each of those individuals. Now, the caveat with that is email specifically for certain age groups is not very well read. A text message is going to be a lot more seen. A social post is going to be a lot more seen. Email can be effective, but it's just less effective. So that might be one way. If you're just blasting it out there to send it to a bunch of people, you can do that. I'll give you just this one funny story. My daughter, I have an 18-year-old daughter, and her email folder, she put it into a folder on her phone. Guess what the name of the folder is? Useless junk. So any app that she has that like Apple puts on there that you can't delete, she puts it in useless junk along with her email. So just so you know, there's certain groups that don't really care for email. So you got to be careful on that. But that is one way to kind of market to email, you know, if you're in a group that will read their emails. Another question. Is there a way to add more than one image to the same post when you're adding your own media? Let me show you the adding your own media section. Let's see. Well, I'll do that first while we're just talking about it, and we'll go back to another one. So one thing you can do that's really awesome that you may or may not be familiar with, you've got like all of these great images, you've got great things that are available from corporate, but you may have some of your own before and afters, or you might have, you know, a PDF that you like to share with something for your new customers, or, you know, an image or something like this. If you scroll, there is a section called My Media where you can add your own media. You can go in here and you can create, like I said, your own video, your own image, your own website. So the question is, can you add more than one image when you're posting there? And that's kind of a trick question. I'm doing this for the first time, so here on this phone. So look, let's see if I pick an image there. I really can only do the one, but here's how I could do a workaround to that. So say I have an image like this that I want to share. This was up in the Utah canyons just a couple weeks ago. It's really beautiful time of year. First of all, I can create my own title to that asset that I can share and my own description. But remember that we can copy links in, I showed you that copy link function. So you could come in here to your description and say, hey, check out, you know, these other photos, you know, and put in a colon, and then you could paste the links in there and do that. So that's kind of the workaround. And then if you had a title, you hit save, and then it's going to load that image in that you can use before. And then when you send that to someone, it's going to paste in that link that you use. So that's kind of the workaround to get additional images or additional, you know, like if you wanted to have a PDF, a website link and a video all in the same post, that would be one way that you could do it. You know, kind of, since I'm teasing you on the desktop that we're going to talk about another day, on the desktop side, you'll also be able to create your own presentations that will have multiple assets. So you could create a presentation that would show up as an asset like this that has, you know, you could mix a couple videos, images, or other things that you can send. So in this case, if I click my tools to send now, and I send that one that I just created, I'm going to just text it to myself so you can see what it'll look like. In the description, you'll see that it pulls in that same link, these other photos that I was showing you with there, and then I can hit send. So that's one additional way you can do that. Let's look at another question that came up. Are you able to edit your shopping link so that you can use your party link as opposed to your generic shopping link? Well, yes and no. The link that I put in there that said, you know, join now, that one is coming from your personal website, but you can use your own party link just like I did, right? You can put it into the description. You could put it in your bio that gets shared. And that's all controlled from your settings area. So if I come down to the bottom right-hand area, in fact, I'll go to my profile section, which is my image. So I click on that in the bottom right corner, and it will pull up my photo, my shareable things. And when I come in here, one thing I can do is go to my info, and you'll see it has like your name, your phone number, your website, your email, your phone. You could put it in your bio section there, or you could put, if you wanted to change out one of, your email or your phone with something else, you could do that. So that would be another kind of workaround to do that. I hope that answers your question. We'll get more into that in detail when we do the next training on the desktop side, because then you'll see some other options that you can. The desktop side is actually where we started our business with marketing. And so we have a few more options in there for super users that want to customize things and go into more detail there. So that's one thing that we'll go into more detail there. But that is one way you can do it. Just change, when you're creating your custom messages with your own media, or when you're taking the canned message from corporate, when you're sharing an asset, you can go edit that and you can just paste in your party link into that section when you're sharing. I don't see any other questions right now. Kyle might be doing that. I think I covered most. I know our time's getting short. We talked about emails. We talked about texting, sharing on social media, the download function. Maybe I'll reach out to Kyle if he's monitoring this and see if he has anything that we've missed that he'd like to cover, or if you have anyone that's watching, if you want to quickly put that in the comments for Kyle.
Yep, and I've been monitoring that as well, just keeping an eye on everything. So we'll give everyone just a couple seconds since there is a little bit of a delay.
A lag. Let's see. I'm going to just scroll through this while we're talking and see if there's anything else that I want to bring to your attention about sharing, or the player page that we were talking about. I'm just so excited for the content that you guys have. There's some great things coming down the pipeline too. I'm not going to tease you on that, but just know that what you see is not what you're going to have for the foreseeable future. Seint has been investing in you. And so you're going to see some additional new, like not just the app now it's going to be the app on steroids. You're going to see some new stuff coming along. It's going to blow your mind. So just be super excited. They've been investing in you, and they're going to continue to keep investing. Someone just asked, how can we import customers if there's an easy way, if they're not in the phone? So that is a great segue to that desktop version. Yes, on the desktop side, there is an import function where you can import through like a Office 365, through a CSV file, an XLS file. So if you have contacts somewhere else, or leads that you've purchased or something like that, you will be able to import those in on the desktop side. And the database for the desktop and the app are exactly the same database. So if you import them there, they will then show up in your contacts. Otherwise, in your contacts, there's not really a group import on the app side. You just add them this way, where you come up to the top right hand side of your contact section of your app and you hit the little plus button, and then you can add them in kind of manually that one at a time. I would not recommend that if you have a group thing to do. I would just recommend that you wait for that desktop training, or just go to the desktop by yourself. It's super intuitive. You'll just see there's a way for contacts, import contacts, and there's a kind of a native way to do that. Oh, Kyle reminded me there's one last thing that I wanted to show you. I showed you sharing socially, you come in to share a image or a video or something, and you click this social button, and then you go out to, copy the message, personalize it, and then share it. When I do that, that is kind of a one-to-many type of share. That's like doing the copy link that I was showing you, where you're going to post it on social media and someone's going to see it, but you're not going to, if they click on the link in the comments, you're not going to know who it is, because you're just posting it out to social media, right? There is a way to share one-to-one if you would prefer to share one-to-one. And the way to do that, the meaning of that is like, hey, I'm going to share this to Kyle on Facebook Messenger, but I want to see if he clicked on it or not. So if there's a reason that you want to share just to a single person and make sure you get You can track their activity on the post. The way you do that is to select them as a contact before you go into the social share. So in this case, I would come in and say, hey, I'm going to share something to Kyle. So I pick out his name, or I could pick out mine or whatever. I pick him out. And then from here, you can see it gives you the share, the drips, or the feed. So I can hit share, and then it will pull up what I want to share with him. So in this case, if it's that same monthly promotion, I click on that. I can click then again on social. And like I mentioned, then I can go to Facebook Messenger or whatever, just like I showed you earlier. I'm not going to take the time to do that, but then I go click, paste, click, select Kyle in Facebook Messenger, hit send. And now I've got a social link that I've sent to him that's tied to him as an individual, so that when he clicks on it, I'm going to get a notification in my activity feed saying Kyle clicked on this. Kyle watched 80% of the video, that sort of thing. So anyway, our time is up. We're so excited, and hopefully this has been super helpful for you as you're sharing as an artist. All the stuff with Seint, you're going to continue to have success with it. And like I said, stay tuned for the desktop training that's coming up, because that will be a way to really do some customization if you're interested in that, and do some, bulk uploads of contacts and other things like that. And we just know that it's going to continue to be a great addition for you guys as you're growing your business. So thanks again, and we'll sign off for now.